The time is 10 a.m. and this is WKYT Midmorning. The father of a Boyle County teenager whose stepmother was found murdered is now speaking out.
A Southern Kentucky man is charged after the son of a police chief is shot to death.
And Lexington police are doing their part in trying to fight the surge in heroin overdoses.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
And a good morning to you on a very pleasant Tuesday. We're glad you're with WKYT at Midmorning. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. You said it, really pleasant start to the day out there.
Great, you know. Beautiful sunrise earlier, and now it's comfortable. Let's check in if we can get his coat on with meteorologist Micah Harris.
He's ready.
I was rushing, man. I was going, come on, just extend it a little bit longer. Appreciate that. All right, here's the look outside. It is a good-looking shot. Moorhead looks great. London, Corbin, Frankfort. I mean, you name it. It's beautiful outside. Temperatures are there in the low to mid 70s. We travel in towards your afternoon. We'll be right around 87. So it's going to be a warmer day in store, but at least we're not dealing with any rain chance. Now, however, that is in the forecast. Not great rain chances, but they are there. How we're going to plan around those, especially that weekend forecast. That's when it looks sloppy. I'll have that coming up.
All right, see you shortly. Thank you.
First, this mid-morning traffic has been backed up in Lexington after a rush hour injury accident that sent one man to the hospital.
This really has been a traffic nightmare this morning. It happened on the outer loop of New Circle Road near Richmond Road. WKYT's Lauren Miner is live at the scene. She joins us now with our top story here at Mid-Morning. Lauren?
Good morning, Bill and Barbara. Well, traffic is still down to one lane here on New Circle Road going eastbound. Now, drivers are moving a little bit quicker than they were about a half hour, 45 minutes ago, but they were backed up at one point all the way past Alumni. Now, police still remain on scene with the two vehicles, and this is what we know so far. They say a red truck was pulled off to the right-hand shoulder with the driver standing outside of the vehicle. It was at that time a man driving a gold truck veered off the road and hit the red truck, pinning the man between the two vehicles. Witnesses on scene pulled up to help the two men. They managed to pull out the man stuck between those two vehicles. Now, we were told both of those gentlemen were taken to the hospital. The man stuck between the two trucks suffered serious injuries to his legs, and the man driving the gold vehicle may have been suffering from a medical condition during the time of the accident. Now, like I already said, police still remain on scene this morning, and they hope to have the accident cleared up within the next hour or two. Reporting live in Lexington, Lauren Miner, WKYT.
All right, again, things have improved, but the right lane of the outer loop will be shut down until accident investigators can determine the cause of this morning's crash. And we are hearing from the father of a Boyle County teenager who vanished after her stepmother was found murdered.
Jenna Oakley couldn't be found after her stepmother, Rhonda Oakley, was found dead in her home. Days later, police found Jenna and her boyfriend, Kenneth Nye, in New Mexico. Now, Jenna's father, Philip, is talking about the case.
Rhonda was murdered on September 1st in the family's home near Danville. Philip Oakley's 15-year-old daughter, Jenna, her 20-year-old boyfriend, Kenneth Nye, were discovered 2 days later in his wife's car in New Mexico. Dispatchers in New Mexico referred to Jenna as a primary suspect in the homicide, but state police have not named any suspects officially. Philip Oakley spoke with WDRB-TV about the person responsible for the death of his wife.
I think the people that did this are monsters, and so I have no pity on them whatsoever.
The sheriff in Quay County, New Mexico, says shortly after his arrest, Kenneth Nye tried to hang himself in jail. He was taken to a hospital in Texas where he was placed on a ventilator. There's no word on his condition now.
Police are looking for the gunman behind an early morning robbery outside a Lexington restaurant. Investigators say it happened around 3 a.m. to an employee at the IHOP near Palumbo Drive off New Circle Road. Police say the employee was taking a smoke break when a man with a gun stole her tip money. The suspect is described as a skinny man standing 5'7". He was wearing a gray hoodie and jeans. The woman was not hurt. A Southern Kentucky mother is now charged with murder after her toddler was killed in a weekend crash. Jessica Warner was driving on Kentucky 379 in Russell County Saturday when police say she pulled in front of a truck. The crash sent Warner's daughter, 3-year-old Chloe Fortenberry, to to the hospital where she died. Warner was released from the hospital last night and is now charged with murder. Police have not elaborated on the charge.
A Southern Kentucky man is facing charges after state police say he shot the son of a police chief down in Clinton County. The shooting happened at a home on Wolf River Dock Road that is not far from Dale Hollow Lake. Investigators say 53-year-old James Guffey, who is the son of the Albany police chief Ernest Guffey, was shot during an argument and later died. Police have since arrested Travis Sloan for the shooting, and he is charged with murder. A man is facing charges in Laurel County this morning after deputies say he tried to rape a 12-year-old girl. The sheriff's office says Joshua Wagers met the girl through a mutual friend and claimed that he was a police officer. Deputies say through Snapchat, the girl's father found out Wagers was coming to his home to pick up his daughter. Once he arrived, the father held him until deputies arrived. They say Wagers had a badge, police radio, a gun, drugs, alcohol, and a box of condoms. He is now facing a number of charges, including attempted rape.
In Knox County, an escapee was captured after police say they found him sleeping in a tree. Shane Browning escaped from work release last month. Someone called police over the weekend and told them Browning was knocking on doors in the Hinkle area. Then one neighbor led deputies to a tree house where they found the escapee asleep.
All right then.
Don't roll out of the treehouse there.
Right.
Well, with the heroin epidemic hitting central Kentucky hard, Lexington police officers are now carrying Narcan.
It's a precaution. Police Chief Mark Barnard says he does not expect officers will use the potentially life-saving drug often. That's because EMS crews usually are the first responders to get to overdoses. But Barnard says he wants his officers to be in a position to help.
The opiate addiction is showing everyone, not just a certain segment of a community, but everyone is being affected by this, just as it was in the past. So I think it's important to look at it and say, how can we help everyone in our community? And this is not the answer, but it's a helpful solution.
Lexington police say they included more than $20,000 in their budget for the Narcan, and the city has approved it. The Kentucky Judicial Conduct Commission has suspended a Fayette County Family Court judge for 7 days without pay. It comes after the commission ruled that Kathy Stein, a former state senator, violated ethics rules in a custody case. The commission says last year an attorney for a father in that custody case asked Stein to grant the father immediate temporary custody of his child. The commission says Stein agreed without holding a hearing or giving the mother a chance to respond. Investigators say the father then took the child to Mississippi and stayed there until the State Court of Appeals ordered the child be returned to Kentucky. Well, Hillary Clinton remains off the campaign trail today, fighting pneumonia and also facing questions about transparency.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump has been bashing her for criticizing his supporters. Hannah Daniels has the latest on campaign 2016.
Hillary Clinton is trying to set the record straight about her pneumonia diagnosis.
I just didn't think it was going to be that big a deal.
The Democratic nominee has come under fire from Republicans and some Democrats for failing to disclose the condition immediately after receiving the diagnosis Friday.
Donald Trump's doctor said he'd be the healthiest president in history. That's just not even serious. And I've released nearly 40 years of tax returns. He hasn't released one.
Instead of focusing on Clinton's health, Donald Trump riled up supporters in North Carolina yesterday, reminding them Clinton referred to them as deplorable last week.
These are not deplorable people, that I can tell you.
The event was repeatedly interrupted by protesters who were escorted out. One Trump supporter could be seen scuffling with at least 3 demonstrators, including a woman. Clinton and Trump go head-to-head in their first presidential debate in less than 2 weeks. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
Well, 2 gymnasts, one an Olympian and the other from Kentucky, say they were sexually abused by a former longtime doctor for USA Gymnastics. A civil lawsuit filed last week in California claims that Dr. Larry Nassar sexually groped and fondled the teenage Olympian, saying it was part of physical therapy during her elite career. And a Louisville woman told the Indianapolis Star that Nassar sexually abused her while she was being treated for lower back pain at Michigan State University. Nassar is a faculty member there. Well, keep it right here this mid-morning. Coming up, we'll take you to Chicago and show you an act of kindness that's gone viral.
And celebrities gather to raise money in memory of the 9/11 victims.
We're looking at beautiful conditions outside at this moment. Still some traffic troubles there on Outer Loop New Circle Road. We're going to go over all that with your weekend forecast. Looking a little sloppy. That's coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We are there in the 70s outside at this moment. It's a pretty good feel out and about. All looks well across town. I'm not really seeing any issues. If you didn't hear earlier, remember, Outer Loop New Circle Road, it's down to one lane. It's pretty slow at this moment. So it's Outer Loop New Circle Road in between Alumni and Richmond Road. There was a bad collision early this morning, and that's still backed up. Hopefully they'll get that squared away. They said roughly around noontime. Frankfort at 71 degrees looks pretty good there. Flemingsburg Road, I'm not seeing any issues. Cross I-64 there in Moorhead, and then you work your way down 75 all the way to Laurel County. All looks well. Well, hit the afternoon at 87. I mean, it's a little warmer than the past few days, we'll say. Mid to upper 80s, that is well above average, which average is typically right around 80 degrees. You won't be affected by the weather today. It's just going to be a little bit warm this afternoon, and that's about it. Tomorrow, there is a small chance of rain, maybe a passing shower or thunderstorm. And I say maybe just because we're not really confident that it's actually going to get rain at all. But nonetheless, there is a chance, okay? I just don't want to tell you, hey, it's going to be clear and you get a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Small chance then. Thursday looks good and dry. Friday, another small chance. So the rest of the work week, it's really going to be tomorrow and off towards your Friday for small chances of rain, not good chances. So heading out to Friday night football, I don't see it being affected all that much. Maybe a passing shower thunderstorm, and that is about it. The weekend forecast is what everybody's focusing in on, even though it is only Tuesday. Here comes a big front heading our direction. We've got the football game going on toward the afternoon, UK football game, and also a lot of these events. This is coming up on festival season, and you're really starting to see all that moisture stream on in here. That front will roll on through, and that will give us the better opportunity on the weekend schedule to actually see some scatter showers, thunderstorms now. It's a pretty good chance right now, and I would say as of right now, it looks like Saturday is probably your better opportunity, but we're going to get a little bit closer. Right now, we put both at 60%. I would say if I'm leaning toward one day having the better chance on timing, should be Saturday as opposed to Sunday. Nonetheless, it's going to be pretty sloppy. There's more of a mass of rain, a blob of rain moving on in instead of a line, so it could take up a large portion of your day there on Saturday. That means have a backup plan, a plan B, just in case on Saturday. Last weekend we lucked out. It only lasted an hour or two, and then it moved on out. Not this weekend.
Yeah, and you were clear about that. Nice. I remember middle of last week you said it'll be a pretty quick line. Right, it was, right. And so this time, a little soaking, it sounds like.
Exactly right. That's right.
All right, we're ready. Well, an 89-year-old street vendor from Little Village in Chicago is getting by with a little help from a whole lot of strangers.
Fidencio Sanchez sells fruit popsicles out of a push cart. He pushes it up and down a lot of the streets in a little village. Mr. Sanchez says he lost his only daughter, so he has to work now to pay the bills. A man who happened to see Sanchez do his everyday job felt compelled to do something. He started a GoFundMe to raise money for the Popsicle Man to hopefully make life a little easier for him. In just 3 days, more than 11,000 random strangers have donated, get this, nearly $250,000.
Isn't that a sweet story?
It should lighten his burden.
Yeah, a lot of compassion
right.
there.
Yeah.
Well, the boss is heading out on a different kind of tour, and Bridget Jones gets ready to welcome her baby.
Plus, the stars align to raise money in memory of 9/11 victims. Chris Martinez has your eye on entertainment.
Celebrities from the worlds of sports and entertainment converged in New York to raise money in memory of 9/11 victims. The celebs joined the financial firms Cantor Fitzgerald and BGC Partners, which lost more than 700 employees in the attacks on the World Trade Center. 100% of the day's revenues were donated to Cantor's Relief Fund and charities around the world.
It's an amazing concept, and it's an amazing thing that happened out of something that was such a tragedy.
So far, Charity Day has raised more than $125 million. Across town, the stars walk the red carpet for the U.S. premiere of Bridget Jones's Baby.
Dear Diary, it's sort of a funny story.
Renee Zellweger returns as the title character for this third film in the series, joined by Colin Firth and new castmate Patrick Dempsey.
I love how open and authentic she is. I love it. I think it's what we crave these days. It gives us hope, makes it okay for us to be human.
Bridget Jones's Baby opens nationwide on Friday. And Bruce Springsteen is heading out on a book tour. The 9-stop tour to promote his memoir, Born to Run, kicks off in his hometown of Freehold, New Jersey on September 27th. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And we hope you keep it right here. You know, it's time to start changing over our closets from summer to fall.
We're talking fall fashion trends next on WKYT. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot is $222 million, and tomorrow's Powerball jackpot is $122 million.
Welcome back. It is mid-morning on WKYT, and you know, fall is a time of transition, not only in the weather, but also in your wardrobe.
To talk about the trends, we're joined by Judy Roberts, the owner of Paper Dolls Ladies Boutique in London, along with two lovely models that we have here as well. Welcome, glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And I love what you have on.
Yeah,
Thank you.
like that. What are some of the trends that you're seeing as we head into fall?
Okay, there are lots as usual, and of course there's really nothing new in fashion. It's everything comes back and gets reinvented, but I wanted to focus a little bit today on something that I embrace, and that's the cape poncho trend. Such as what I'm wearing.
Yeah, and that's really nice. It looks very, sometimes those can feel so bulky that you don't know what to do with it, but that is very nice.
It really is. It's very lightweight, and it's just a wrap. It's decorative as well as a little bit of warmth if you need that. But
so you think you'll see a lot of that this fall?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, we have our models up. Please tell us about them.
Okay, first we have Judy Roberts. I'm actually Judy House, and it's okay. Judy Roberts, she's kind of modeling a piece that's wear now. She's been wearing this summer, and we've layered it, which is a very important thing to do. Later on, she can put a turtleneck under there with leggings and boots, but it's kind of a modified version of a poncho.
You could do a whole lot with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely there.
Kind of a flowing look, right?
Yes.
Yes.
How am I doing?
You're doing great. Things hide a multitude of sins, which we all appreciate.
And what about Amber? What is she wearing?
Amber has on a great piece from Frank Lyman, which is a Canadian designer, and it's another modified version of a poncho. Little bit fitted piece underneath with the flowing over it, and what she has on with that is what we all need to incorporate into our closets. It's called a skegging. It's a skirt and legging made into one piece, and where tops are getting a bit shorter now, where tunics we could always do with leggings, we need a little more coverage, so this is the perfect piece.
Oh, that really is nice. Very practical there. What about the season's most important colors?
Okay.
What are we going to see?
What you and I are wearing, shades of rich, ripe berry shades from bright red, which is my personal favorite color, to deeper Bordeauxs.
Yeah,
that's
very
interesting.
good.
All right.
And
well, thank
20
you for coming
years
in.
for Paper Dolls.
How about that?
Congratulations.
And having a big event coming up there in the next few days. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much.
Well, keep it right here this mid-morning.
Going to check in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next and see what we can cook up here on this Tuesday.
We're glad you're with us today. If you're one of those people who misses the days when the school lunch lady used to make sloppy joes, you're in luck. I bet you loved them.
Good stuff, right? They're whipping them up in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen today. Hairnet is optional.
As our week-long school cafeteria series continues, today we're honoring the lunch ladies. Now, I'm not saying that on occasion there wasn't a cafeteria guy or two, but for the most part, I bet many of you can remember the team of women clad in their matching uniforms and hairnets, of course, who served us lunch every day. I can only recall a handful of lunchtime favorites from when a school lunch was only 35 cents. But the one dish that stands out in my mind is Sloppy Joe. To recreate that memory, all we have to do is saute some ground beef and an onion in a skillet until it's browned. Once they are, we drain off the excess liquid and add in some tomato sauce, pickle relish, Worcestershire sauce, and a boatload of spices before letting that simmer. Make sure you chop the onions really fine so no one knows they're in there. On days when they serve these up on toasted buttery buns, you could bet the lunch line was long. I mean, who doesn't love that combo? To bring those memories back to your kitchen, all you have to do is go online and get the recipe for what we call Lunch Lady Sloppy Joes. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where I tip my hairnet to all lunch ladies as they take a tasty and messy trip down memory lane. One that'll have you saying, ooh, it's so good.
I knew that was going to happen. I just knew it was.
Why it's called what it is, right?
With his hairnet on. That's what we all said. We were like, he's got a hairnet on before we even said it. 87 degrees later on this afternoon, mainly sunny skies. Get into tomorrow, sitting there with a small chance of rain there in the forecast, and that's going to go for Friday. So now through the rest of the work week, it's really mainly dry. There's really not much going on. Maybe a passing shower or thunderstorm, and that's about it. It's really this weekend, guys, we're going to be focusing in on. I talked about it earlier. The timing on this right now looks to be afternoon and evening. And I know we're still 4 to 5 days away. We have plenty of time to nail down the timing, but we'll have new weather data coming in at noon.
Okay.
All right, we'll look forward to that.
There you go, as you make your plans. Thank you so much for being with us at Mid-Morning. We'll see you back at noon.
Make it a good day.